Hello, good evening, and welcome to tonight's episode of Reality's a Moment with Susie. I hope everybody has had a lovely week. I'm sure some people have been out there, Black Friday shopping, fighting for the televisions and everything. Well, I wasn't one of them. But anyway, for tonight's show, I'm sure loads of people have watched the video of the Ugandan housemaid brutally beating the young toddler. We're going to be discussing how do we keep our kids safe. Are we sure our kids are safe, and what do we need to do to safeguard them? Big thank you to my guests for this evening who are joining me for this conversation. Princess Rose, thank you so much.
You are welcome. Good evening to you, Susie.
Good evening. Sazino, thank you so much.
How are you? Thank you. Thank you, Retty.
Thanks. Now, just in case anybody hasn't watched the video, although I'm sure most people have, according to the BBC, 41 million people watched it, and it was an incident that happened just last week. What happened was, basically, the father had installed a camera in the house, but didn't think anything about it, but came home to meet his little daughter limping and was wondering why she was limping. And then he went back to watch the video, and I guess millions of people have seen what this housemaid done to this little girl, the brutal treatment that the little girl got from someone who was meant to be safeguarding her and looking after her. Scary. Apparently the girl is safe and well. I know there were loads of concerns whether the girl was alive, whether she was in hospital, but since we've seen a press review that the father done in the police station, and the girl was there looking well and healthy, the mother has said that she won't be returning back to work until the daughter is old enough to, because this young girl, don't forget, is 18. You're a mother, Rose. Tell me, did you have any fears when you were taking your kids to the childminders or to the nursery or anywhere where they were being cared for?
Well, you always have fears. Obviously, being in London, you have more protection and safeguarding, and legislations and Ofsted and things that guide more towards the children. But at the same time, you're not there, and you're leaving that trust with the childminder. And all I can say is that it's difficult, because you could have a good childminder, something can go wrong, and then she could be disturbed or stressed and do something within 1 minute. So, it's very difficult, but what you can do is just do your normal checks. That's what I did, and really just pop in now and again.
Yeah.
When, unannounced. That's what I did, unexpectedly. Yeah. And my child was like 4 or 5, so he could talk at that time.
Okay, so you were quite lucky.
Yeah, so quite lucky. But obviously a child of 1, 2,
yeah,
it will be difficult for them to explain anything that is going on, or, what is happening. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult, area to indulge in. And if they can't talk, it's just by the grace of God that, like the father did, he planted some cameras.
Yeah.
It must have been, I don't know what made him do that.
Apparently he had seen some bruises on the child.
Okay.
That couldn't be explained. He had seen the child limping and couldn't understand why, and obviously being an 18-month-old baby, the baby couldn't explain to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Zena, I'm going to ask you, but just before I do, I'm going to remind our viewers that this is a live show. If you want to ring in and tell us about any experiences you have, any fears that you have, ring in. The number's going to be scrolled at the bottom of the screen. Now, Sazino, you are a father of young kids.
Yeah.
What is your take on this horrible incident that happened to this poor child?
My take on this incident is that a lot needs to be done. What she did is pure evil, it's pure wickedness. As a father, to be honest, I don't know what I will do if I found myself in that kind of situation to the maid.
Yeah.
But what a lot of things needs to be done in Africa. Number one, we just, there's no human rights. And let's ask ourselves a lot of questions. Why did she do it? And maybe the man maltreats this lady every time, because I've seen it before. When I was in Nigeria, I've seen it several times. I've seen driver being slapped just because he's trying to take a place where there is no hold up on the road, but because the boss likes that particular route, and is not taking that particular route, you can talk to the driver. Even some drivers are even older than their boss. I've seen the driver; he wasn't even spoken to say take left, or don't do this or don't do that. He from the back they slapped him. Yeah. You understand? So, and I've seen a lot of house girls being treated like animals. You can't even treat a dog like that. That's you know. True, so sometimes it could be anger from the girl what she experienced from our background, or from our boss, from the house where she works. And number two, I think people, we need a lot of training. Enough, we need to start, before people can be your housemate or anything, they have to go through a kind of session where they will be trained on, what to do, what it takes to
I think Africa as a whole is a country where checks are not actually done. That's right. People are desperate for childcare. They pick anyone, they ask someone, do you know anyone? And they'll say, oh, I know someone in the village. There's not an acting body, is there? That's it. And usually it's recommendation, and you might not even know where this person is coming from. That's right. And you might be getting someone with mental health issues. That's right.
Yes.
You don't know what type of baggage this person is carrying. But saying that, and I know that, now the girl is well, we can talk about, what has this girl herself been through? Thank God the child is alive. She was looking hale and healthy on the TV. She was playing,
That's very good.
That was, I was so happy to see that. But I'm thinking, here in the UK, it's very easy for us. Yes. But some do slip through the net. There are still, when you have a child who is not of the age to talk or communicate, like, I'll give you an example. I remember I had a particular childminder that I was using, and every time I took my daughter there, she would scream her head off when I'm leaving. Now for me, I needed to get to work, 1. 2, I can't be with you 24/7, but I'm talking to this lady and I'm trusting everything that this lady is saying to me.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if anything happened, but what do we do?
I think that's a sign. I'm sorry. One thing about
children. Is it
children,
always a sign?
One thing about children, they've got an innocence about them.
Yes.
And there's something that you don't know, that when a child's especially when they're a certain age, they've got such a spiritual innocence about them that they pick up things that you won't pick up as an adult. And they sense things, and they, like you said, they don't want to say they tell you, but from crying, no matter what, it's emotion, that means that you're upset. Yes. Once I see that you're upset, there is something wrong.
So then what do you say? I hear you when you say that, but I remember when my kids were going to nursery, and both went to the same nursery. And I remember my first one, oh my God, but she was so attached to me. This is how I analysed the whole situation, was because she had been at home with me for 1.5 years, and all of a sudden I'm dropping you in nursery, and nursery was one place she never ever wanted to be. And so every time I dropped her there, it was tears. Yes. But for some reason, I felt confident that they weren't doing anything horrible to her.
Yes.
Well, that's it's a nursery situation.
But kids do get abused at nursery too, don't they? Very rarely, but it happens.
It does happen.
What I do, because way back when my son was still going to was in nursery, every day once they comes back home, because I something this is England, so sometimes I have to bath them and everything at night. And what I do is I check their body and I talk to them every day.
Do you actually?
Yes, I check. Yeah, I press some. Sometimes you might see some, because they're light skinned as well. So sometimes you might see some red spots. So sometimes I say, "Are you okay?"
So what happened? A dark skinned child now, you don't see nothing.
What about a child that can't talk? Exactly. A child that can't talk.
With a dark skinned child, where you find out that method as well. Like You just press the body or that kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
you see if they feel any kind of pain. And I do tell them at times that don't let anybody play with your your private parts.
I think it's very important. That,
Some people might be try to be nice to you or this and that. Don't allow it. If anything happens, tell mommy. If you don't see mommy, tell daddy. Or you yell, you shout. Don't keep quiet.
But you're very much a modern parent, and there's still parents out there that don't talk to their children like that.
They don't understand that they need to.
So you're a parent that is very open, and you're the modern, open-minded parent.
It's true. No, I know school like my pops.
And there is so much cultures out there that is not like that, which is still very enclosed. Very different. Muslims, whatever.
Yeah.
Different categories of people. And you're fortunate that your children's got a person like you, as a father. Because there's a lot of fathers out there that don't care about that.
Well, usually by the time, when you think about it, some parents, by the time they get home, by the time they pick their kids up, either from, do you know what? And saying this, I've just remembered, and funny enough, I never thought about this in these past few weeks. My younger one, I'll never forget, I used to bath her all the time, she was fine, and then I had a minder in. And then all of a sudden, I think I went to bath her over the weekend, and as soon as I took her near the bath, she was screaming. And that was the whole process that we had from then on. And I could never understand why, what was happening. And so because she was screaming when I was bathing her, when I was there a few times, and the lady was bathing her, because the lady used to come into the house and look after them while I went to work. And by the time she was bathing her in front of me, she was screaming. So I thought it was normal because she was doing that to me as well. But then I don't know what has gone on that changed her perception of having a bath as a baby. Do you get me? Because she was only about 8 months then.
Wow.
But these things throw up.
I think it's a phase because my the baby of the house, he does it. Some bathing time he runs, he runs. We had to chase him up, and sometimes he throws tantrums, he cries, I don't know, though that's same, but the rest they're never like that. The rest, if you don't even bath them on time, they will disturb you.
They will ask you.
They will stand on your neck until you do it. But this particular one is, if you leave it for a whole month, it's fine.
10 years, 1 year.
I mean,
1 year is still fine.
But I mean, it is scary when you think about it.
I think we're getting very
unfortunately,
skeptical. You see, this is the thing. We get into that insecurity, don't we?
Yes.
We start getting into, thinking, is this person this, is this person that? And we can become such, isolated and skeptical people. And this is how the world is coming. Because like you said, it might have just been the child just doesn't like bathing. It's just that people don't like water.
Yeah.
And, you think, is there something wrong? Because, from the child, it drives a lot of mental...
When you see a video like this, and you know that you are leaving your child with somebody else, you start thinking things, as in, what is that person doing to my child? Why I am not... Are they feeding them properly? Are they just... I remember an experience I had with one of my au pairs. Now, my au pair told me that, she'd met this guy. I was like, fine. I was like, you know what? I gave her clear instructions, and I said to her, do you know what? You take the kids, you take one of them to nursery. I was dropping the other one in the childminder. And the rest of the day is yours. All you need to do is make sure the house is tidy. Whatever you're doing, you can do, but don't bring anybody to my house when I'm not here. Then you know that you resume again at 3:30 when you go and pick my daughter up from school. Then I remember I usually picked the younger one from nursery. So I remember once I was driving home with the younger one, and she had gone somewhere, and I saw her walking down the road with my 5-year-old walking right near the curb. She was somewhere else.
You see?
She was walking along the road somewhere else, and my daughter was skipping by, and I was like, I didn't even think. I just hit the brakes in the middle of the road, started, what are you doing?
That's what I used
And then
to
she
do.
quickly grabbed the child. That one went, and I spoke to her, and I thought, okay, maybe she doesn't
Like
understand.
just a one-off.
You know, she's never had kids, so I spoke to her about that. And then, like I'd warned her, never ever bring, you know, your new boyfriend. I'm fine with you. That's your boy. You know, you're an adult. That's
Yeah.
your business. So long as you don't do it in my time.
Yeah.
And then one day she said to me, "Oh, I'd like you to meet this guy." And I said, "Okay, then, no problem." So he came to pick her up on the Friday when she was going home. And opened the door. I was like, "Hello." And while he was talking to me, my little daughter kind of squeezed in between.
Whoa.
As soon as my daughter came out, the guy said, "Hello," called my daughter's name. "How are you today?" And I looked and I thought, hold on a sec, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then next thing he goes, "I hope you like the pigs I gave you." And I was like, "You what?" And I looked at him, I said, "Pigs?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." And I looked at the girl and I said, "Okay, see you later, yeah? See you when you come back on Sunday." Because these pigs, I came home one day and my daughter had 3 pigs. And I said to my daughter, "Oh, where did you get the pigs from?" "Auntie gave them to me." And I said to her, "Where did she get the pigs from?" She said, "Oh, I was just passing by the shop and I brought them for her."
Whoa, so in a way she's even teaching them how to lie.
Thank you.
That's right.
Obviously not so. So obviously where I had said to her, you are free to, you know, I'm just using this as an example where you talk about people being maltreated.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't have to maltreat them for
before
them
they do that, yeah.
to do things, because now,
It's human
I,
nature,
you know,
though,
I
isn't it?
asked you, don't do what you want, but don't let any of your boyfriends have contact with my kids.
Yeah.
But you've had, the guy, that was it, the
That's
guy said to
people.
me, "Oh, we went through the shopping centre and I brought," the guy said to me, he came back another day, because she came back on the Sunday, and she was just like, "You know what, I told her to go." I told her to go, because at this point, I realised that
Yeah, because
this girl was in my house 24/7 while I'm not there, and I didn't know what was happening.
It's just
Yes.
when, like, using the agencies, when I used to use the agencies for babysitting, when I
Yeah.
used to travel a lot. And I used to always, my mum used to look after my little one, but then I needed, you know, people to babysit on the weekends while my mum needed to go to church and everything
Yeah.
else. So we used to use agencies. And I just think it's just a thing, human nature. People just want to get the money. They don't really care.
Yeah, about,
Yes.
they don't
About-
actually
about-
care
yeah,
about the
about the
child.
care
It's all
itself.
about
You
the
know,
money
it's
that
about
they're getting.
what
just
it
getting
takes.
the money,
Yeah.
and you know, especially young people, because most
Yeah.
of them, you know, they're quite under paid for the time that they do, or they're on £6-7 an hour or whatever, and they're students.
£6 an hour is a lot, girl.
It's a lot. I think
Well,
it's
students,
£5
yeah,
something.
£5.
Some of them don't even get up to that when you think
but they're
about it.
students,
Yeah.
especially on pair, everything else that's living in or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a thing when they're younger. People do not care as much because they
Yes.
don't have their own family.
Yeah. Yes.
And that's the nanny that was in the video. She was 18, wasn't she?
No, she was 21.
21.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
21. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I always find that, you know, with maturity you become more sensible, don't you? And
Yes.
you have more, when you have your own, you think
Oh, but
differently.
you know what? You're saying that. I mean, when I think about it now, I think I had a few scares. Like, I remember I had one that was, she was quite, you know, she was, let's say she had grandkids basically. And one day I came home. To tell you the honest truth, if I had gone by my instincts, and I think one thing that a lot of parents, we parents do sometimes, is out of desperation, we ignore things.
True.
And for me, I remember the first thing I found weird about her, because I'd met her in the church, somebody had introduced her to me
You
from a
think that
church.
she's kosher.
I thought, you know, she's kosher, she's fine, there's nothing wrong, because, you know, we have that mindset of if the person comes from the church, they're going to be okay.
That's right.
And I woke up one night, she'd covered all the mirrors. She'd covered the mirror. I met a big towel on the bathroom, on the mirror in the bathroom. I thought, what's this? So I took the towel off, hung it up, and I thought, let me go into the bedroom and check. And I went into the bedroom, and she had put this big cloth over the mirror.
She's
So I
like,
thought, I don't know. So no, I'm serious. So I thought, but she always had a Bible with her. She was always praying. I thought to myself,
Mirror.
do you know what? No, but I thought,
fairest of us all.
yeah, I thought to myself, that is really weird. I took it off because everybody was sleeping. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And then in the morning I said to her, and I usually left for work at about 6 o'clock in the morning because
Yeah.
I was working outside London. And so, but I thought, no, I'm waking her up. So I woke her up as I was going, and I said to her, why were the mirrors covered? Why were all the mirrors covered yesterday? And she said something to me, oh, I don't like mirrors. I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. I promise you, I did not think nothing of it. I didn't think anything of it.
It's not normal. How can you not like yourself looking at yourself in the mirror?
No. But I think, you know what? Some people might not like looking at themselves. But I'm like, okay. Cecina, I know. And
you have to accept it.
Oh my God, you're making me feel so guilty right now. But I just thought, okay, then I'll leave it. And then I thought, I'll watch her very carefully. And then one of the ladies from the school said to me, she's not taking charge of the kids properly. The kids seem to be in charge of her. So I called her and I said to her, what's going on here? And, you know, she spanned some story for me. But the only thing that I found was that she was looking after these kids. They were always clean. I had to warn her about overfeeding them because she was giving them too much food for my liking. Every time I turned around, she'd given them something to eat. Yeah, exactly. So she seemed nice.
It's just that mirror.
Yeah,
But
it was just that mirror issue.
I can't live with that.
Then one day, you can't wait.
No matter how nice you are.
Then one day, I came home, walked into the house, and said, as I walked in, everybody was sitting there. My daughter was playing on the floor. The other one was sitting. She was sitting watching TV. I was like, "Hi guys, you okay?" And then my daughter said, "Hello, mummy." And as soon as she opened her mouth, her front tooth was in half. There was only half the tooth was missing. I was like, what? I'm like, hold on a sec.
Jesus.
I said, what's happened? And the lady said to me, oh, she fell in the park. Wait, hold on a sec.
But there's no stone in the park.
No, she fell in the park. Wait, and I was like, hold on a sec. My daughter fell in the park. She lost half a tooth.
You can't even phone.
And you didn't get on the phone to ring me to tell me. And she said something like, oh, she didn't think about it. And then she said, one of my friends was present when it happened. So I rang my friend, and my friend said, yeah, she was there when my daughter fell, that my daughter was running around and the lady wasn't controlling her. She was even talking to her about how she controls her. And at one point, my daughter now tripped, and that's how the tooth broke.
Oh.
But I'm like, but hold on. Why did you not call me on the phone to tell me that an accident had happened?
And it happened, yeah.
Do you know what? I said, you know what? Pack your bags now. Even if I don't go work tomorrow. The woman was like, the woman had the cheek to say, can I go tomorrow? I said, but do you know what?
Christian heart to Susie.
Huh?
You should have had a Christian heart and say, sleep the night and then go tomorrow.
I think I had a
And
Christian-
cover the mirror.
Exactly, I
I
covered
think
the mirror for the last time.
But you know what? But when I look back at it
I think
now,
she's just a soft person.
Yeah.
She's extremely nice. She's the kind of
Yeah.
person that she can't.
Discipline.
Yeah, she can't even
Some
say
people
no
can't discipline,
to
yeah.
most things. It's just yes. So you always get your way
Some
with her.
people like that, yeah.
no, but
Or is it-
don't you stop and
But-
think that you're fine with someone that can't say no. But then how are your kids being controlled if that is the case? Little kids for that matter. And also, one thing you should know is if you are looking after someone's child and something happens to that child, you're meant to be on the phone
Exactly.
to that person. And
It's a
not
great
let me come
responsibility
home and my daughter
take
give me
on.
a smile with half a tooth hanging out.
To me, I
But
think
she didn't really want to. Obviously, she knew that she did something wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
And she wasn't going
you
to
know.
tell you.
I think she might. I think
because,
she's.
You know, the
she might be a
fair.
bit.
Oh my
slow.
God, you
Yeah,
guys are making
fair.
me feel bad now.
No,
Yeah.
it's not to make you feel bad.
No, it's not to make you feel
she
bad.
She knew that, you know.
It's a good thing because that mirror thing. Forget that one is.
I think that mirror thing scares you.
Yes, no.
She done a few other funny things that I
Why can
kind
you
of
be covering me?
ignored.
Why can you not like yourself? Me, as ugly as I am, I like myself.
You said you
No,
liked
she
it.
actually done a few. I'm not gonna. Oh my
Hey,
God! You
they're
two are
very
going. Wait, hello.
I like that.
Handsome.
Wait, hold on.
I'm sorry. We'll come back to the program.
No, I must admit she did do a few other things, but I think that sometimes, at the time, I was a single parent. I was desperate, and I think you end up looking over some things. Another one. I had quite a few scary experiences. The same one with the man. I'll never forget. She was wearing my clothes.
The man.
The girl, not the man. The girl, let me tell you what happened. First of all, I came home one day and I met my blouse at the end of the bed. And I thought, what is that blouse doing there? Because I didn't leave any clothes out when I was going in the morning. And when I smelled it, for some reason, it had this awful smell that wasn't me.
You know what? I'm actually thinking, because of that we're going back to work next day. I think for now, I'll think a lot about it. I don't want any names.
No, Cecino, I'm not. No, it's terrible. But wait, Cecino, I'm telling you, it's
For real.
it's scary.
It's scary because
It is scary because when I found out she
you
was,
don't know who you're gonna get.
the reason why I also guessed that she was wearing it because there was a safety pin, kind of, and I'm thinking I wouldn't put a safety pin in that.
Yeah.
So I called her and I said, and she denied it. And I looked at her and I thought I'll leave it. But a few weeks later, I went to the school and my friend was in the school before me. I think it was the kids' progress day. And I went to the school, but I didn't tell her I was coming. So I arrived at the school and my friend was sitting down. So I sat down and joined my friend. And my friend said to her, oh, I just saw her coming. And then she walked in and my friend looked at her. My friend said, where's your wig? And I said to my friend, what wig? And she said, but I just saw you walking down the road with an
Oh my God.
I just saw you walking down the road with an afro wig on. Where's the wig gone? And the girl she looked very shifty at the time, but I was just looking because I was like in shock and I was thinking,
Girl,
what's she talking about? And then the girl put her hand in this blue bag that she had and she brought out a wig and it was one of my wigs.
God, you do get them. Yeah. Thank God the children have grown up.
Things, because sometimes you don't.
Thank God the children have grown up.
Exactly. You know.
So what's that God they've grown up?
Tell me about it. You've had some scary. I don't experience those things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was lucky.
It's not as if maybe there are big stores like that, but but that's how they start. And
but you think of some things that would have been happening that you didn't know about.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So for me. I think right now, at the moment, I'm just going to put it...
Have I put you off from going back to work?
You're going to become a house husband.
I think it's great.
Oh, this is it.
Trust me.
This is it.
Because with the kids around and everything, I think it's great. If you can do business by the side and then just stay at home and look after the kids. Then
do you know what I find, especially with our cultured family?
It can be hard sometimes, but
Sometimes
don't you find that, especially in our sort of more West Indian or the black backgrounds, we always forced to go out to work very quickly. We don't have that time up to 2, 3.
Rose.
No, but even the part time, even the women, it's to say to work part time.
Rose, do you know what? When you say that, you're making me feel guilty because I'll tell you, I remember when I had my daughter when she was 6 months old. I thought maternity leave ended at 3 months, so I thought I had to go back to work.
That's right.
At 3 months. So, because the maternity pay goes to half.
That's right.
So I remember as it was getting to about 11 weeks, I thought, I'm sure I'm due to go back to work next week. I better call my manager. So I called my manager. I was like, hi, when am I due back to work? She said, Susie, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. She said, you just had a baby. I said, yeah, you're still on maternity leave. I said, aren't I due to come back? Maternity leave is 6 months.
Yeah.
So you're so used to
because I just thought, I guess I was getting a bit broke as well. I thought I need to go back to work.
Go back
but
to
then
work.
I did,
sometimes, when you think of the finances as well.
That's right.
And I did end up going back to work when my first one, I ended up not going back to work because she was sick. So I had to take time off her to have an operation. So I went back to work when she was 1+, but she went to a childminder who was a friend.
Okay.
And then my second one, I went back to work when she was 7 months and the lady came into the house. Now, all I could say is that whenever I came home, the house was tidy, the house was clean, the kids were tidy. But really, you really don't know what is going on.
I think I'm going to put CCTV all over the house, in the kitchen, in the toilets, in the hallway.
Wait, hold on. It's illegal to put it in the toilet.
Can't do a toilet.
You can't check someone going to the toilet.
No, you can't. It's illegal.
It's that's true.
It's a bit private.
Oh, thank you.
Even in your own house, you can't do it.
Oh, thank you for that correction, man. Yeah. But I'll put it everywhere. I'll put it everywhere, though. Not the toilet, but I'll put it everywhere.
Did you hear about that Chinese doctor that got arrested the other day? Put it in the toilet.
Okay, yeah, because what that one did is actually bad. Is it not that one that
okay, guys,
puts all the
we
videos
are
on the internet? And
naughty people now.
and
Wait,
then
Sazino.
sells the
Sazino.
Sazino.
Yes, thank you. Yes, it's true. It's true.
No. I think let's look at the different precautions
Yes.
that parents can put in place to protect their kids.
One.
Regardless of whether, well, let's start off if it's in your own house, if you have a helper coming into your house.
Well, one, my advice is for people in Africa, because that's where the main problem is. Over here, it's been curbed. You know, you can't
Has it
eradicate.
been curbed?
you can't
Don't
eradicate-
say
It's never-
that.
it's never curbed.
It's never curbed.
It's never curbed.
Don't forget,
No,
you have
because
forgotten.
no. You know why? Let me tell you why. The rate at which that kind of thing happens here, you can't
It's
compare
low,
that
but
rate.
you don't know if it's going to be you. Imagine.
No,
those-
you can't compare the
you-
rates to
Have you
to
forgotten?
the amount of happenings that we have in
True.
Africa. That's what I'm saying.
But have
so
you-
there are some things. It's like corruption.
But
we
Sazina,
can never
hold on.
eradicate it, but
Sazina.
it can be curbed.
Sazina, hold on. Have you forgotten the nursery worker that was caught taking explicit pictures of
right.
babies in the nursery? So you can't go slack because you're in the UK and feel confident that all the laws. There are people that are going to break those rules.
Yes.
And when people are coming into your home for one, those rules that are in a nursery, they're not governed by those rules. A lot of the time, when we take people into our house, they're not vetted as well. They're vetted through agencies, but we don't know how well that vetting process is. But we
Yes.
feel confident because it's an agency. When we send a child to a childminder, we feel confident because they've passed the Ofsted report.
Yes.
But also, we still don't know. So, what precautions do you think we can put in place?
Well, like you said, those things will always be there, no matter what the precautions
right.
are. But to reduce it, steps need to be taken. Like one, you need to find out get references from different places where they've worked before.
As many as possible, yeah.
As many as possible. Do a family background check on them as well, because you don't know, maybe that she's not well. So you need to check maybe she's mentally stable.
Tell you, one of mine weren't stable.
You see, so and also like in Nigeria, we don't have a system where they can check people's data whether they are criminals or not. So the best thing for you to
But
do
you
is
can't-
take them to
you can't do a background
How
check.
do you do a background
because
check on
you,
when
you know
there's nothing in place?
confidentiality with the doctors, you cannot get that information.
Okay, but then
Yeah.
let's say there should be a body. The government should set up a body.
Well, there is a
Yeah, that they have to pass through.
No, when you
and they
think
have
of
to go
Africa,
for a certain
a
training.
lot of African countries, the
It's-
bodies
that
aren't in
means that
place.
that means
Yes.
that they'd be spending money. Yes, and
Yes.
you know the African government, they don't want to. This is why these things happen like this, because obviously we're in the year 2014. These things should have been in place many years ago. But it's the issue all the time: who's going to spend the money to implicate it? Yes,
I think it's
And
going to be up to. I think it's going to be up to parents to
Yeah.
sort
Yes,
it out.
to sort all those things out.
You have to save.
Like in my
yeah,
days, when
that's
I
right.
was young, I know we have a couple of housemates. My mom would take them. They will know. I know she'll meet up with the parents or whatever, like family and things like that. Just to background. Just to get to know the person, and then they will go to police station as well.
Do
Well,
they?
Yeah. They will write. I don't know what they do. I know they will fill some form. They will take our pictures. I think mainly because that time when you bring
That's
people.
safeguarding. That's
Yeah,
safeguarding. That's a very good.
when you
yeah.
bring people from village and you just say, oh, please go to that store and get me something. The next minute they are in Abuja because they are lost.
Yeah, some of them
You
do
know, yeah, so
disappear,
you have to take their picture, safeguard, and things like that, and
Yeah.
things like that, should.
I think one very important thing that
Fair
parents
enough.
need to do, and Rose did mention it before, one very important thing is make unannounced visits home.
That's
I
right.
think it's
Yes,
really important.
yes,
you
that's
have a
very good
key.
as well. That
You
is
have
very
a
good.
key. You walk into the house when they don't expect you,
Exactly.
and then they know that you can turn up at any time. If you have some friends around, let them make unannounced visits to the house as well.
Yes.
This is it.
Yes.
That
Have
is.
Yeah,
I
have
think
your
that is one of the
parents
major
pop in.
things. Yeah, if you're here in the UK, put cameras in your living room, bedroom, kitchen, not bathrooms,
Not
not toilets,
You know what I'm saying?
passage. Because I think at the end of the day, you need to consider that when it comes to childcare, a lot of parents are under pressure.
Yes.
Oh, they are.
When it comes to childcare, families are out working, yes. You should be looking after your children, but you can't have those children with you 24/7 because you have to pay the bills.
Well,
Exactly.
This is it.
I believe, as far as I'm still
Like I said,
concerned,
I feel that, like, you know, you should be with your child to the age of at least 4 or 5 anyway.
I think that's that's the best
main
way.
thing.
Yes.
I
Apart
took
from
time
the
out.
parents being mad
That's right.
themselves, you know.
I took
think that's
time
the
out.
safest
Money shouldn't be an issue.
And the
I
best
think
way.
it's easier said than done. How about I've got
Yeah.
kids
No,
and I get
don't-
evicted because I can't pay my
Don't say
bills?
money shouldn't be the issue because you
It
know
has to
we
be
should
the
thank
issue.
God
It
for our
has.
life that we, you know, some,
No,
we
I'm
are
not saying that money shouldn't be an issue. I'm saying that you can live a good, stable sort of life because it's the ambitions of people that want to have so much more.
So
Not if
much
you have a
more.
mortgage. Don't
And-
forget, if you've got a mortgage, you have to
Yeah.
go out to
Yeah,
work.
you have to go out.
Because
That's right.
the
because
benefit
you don't wanna-
system, yes, if you're
It's
in
the
a
system.
council
Sometimes,
property,
you know, it just makes you work like a donkey. Some people work
That
like a
is
donkey
very
sometimes,
true.
you know. So,
But what I'm saying is that if you have more correspondence with your partner and
Yeah.
your partner's that sort of supportive partner that would say, okay, dear, do 3 days a week or something like that. You know, you need more of that in the family.
what if
itself.
you're a single
know.
parent?
If you're a single
And you haven't
parent,
got a
then
partner.
God help you.
it's true.
Because
God help you, because
God help you.
You
Because
just have to find. You just have
Rose,
to
thank you.
go someday, go to church and pray for strength. That's all I know. Because
It's true.
it is very difficult being a single parent. And,
It is.
you know, not by choice sometimes that you're a single parent. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you want your sanity and the relationship doesn't work very, very well. But if you are a single parent and, you know, you do have a mortgage to pay, then you have no other choice to say yes. But then what state of mind would you be in with having 2, 3 children and going out to work full time?
I had to.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that
Christmas
it depends on your job as well. Is it your job? How stressed can you most probably can handle
My
stress.
job was very, I can
Yes.
handle stress because my job was
very
very
stressful.
stressful.
That's
because
right, the sort of
I
job
was a
that you
social
did,
worker,
that's right.
so the job was stressful. And the worst thing for me was because I was a social worker, I was dealing with a lot of abused kids.
That's right.
And so because I was working with a lot of abused kids, I had some weird thoughts going through my head.
That's right.
You know, as I shut my door, I won't lie to you, I was thinking and wondering what was going on in my house when I wasn't there.
That's what I'm trying to say. When you're congested
It's like
to
when I
an
was working in
atmosphere,
Nelson as well.
your mind becomes
I
that
see
sort
people
of
every day, I just think
atmosphere.
they're
Yeah.
Very hard to shut off.
It
you
was-
know,
it
and
was.
it's very, and then you start thinking, like you said, what's happened with your kids, blah blah blah. But you have to make choices. Like I said, if you're a single parent and you say that you can handle the stress, many people can't handle the stress. You have to make choices. You have to say, okay, I'm going to move in with my mum, rent out my place,
Yes.
relieve the stress, have strategies, and
Yes.
go forward trying to say yes.
Which my mum was in Nigeria.
Go to church again.
My parents
Yeah,
were in
gotta
the
go to
country.
Pray to God.
The only way is Jesus. Trust me.
Jesus.
He's the only way.
No, but Cecilia, you tell me, your ones are quite young. Have you left them?
No, I haven't.
You've hardly ever left them. Why?
What happened is, I was working.
Yeah,
Then I got out of work.
yeah,
Then she's not working.
yeah.
But now I want to go back to work.
You're tired of looking after the kids?
Yes. No.
The
I
kids-
just want to. I think I've done enough. Yeah.
Well, I think that's
You've
great.
done very well. I think that.
No,
Yeah.
that's really
yeah.
great because you've only
I
got
think
that
that is
ego.
brilliant.
Most men won't do that, and I
Yeah.
think that's great because
I take the chill of them out.
cultured men.
I don't
no, but
like
our
I
cultured
don't.
men.
I don't drive. Yeah, like I
No, our cultured men, their egos are so big. If you say that to them, they think, "Oh, what's a self? What's wrong with him?" You understand? But I think that's wonderful because
Why is he being a woman?
yeah, why is he being?
I've rang Cezino before. Listen.
You know the fun.
I rang Cezino before,
great.
and while I rang him, hi Cezino, you alright? Yeah, don't do that. So Cezino, then I'll be like, Cezino, stop that. Will you? Okay, you sit over there. You sit. Cezino, you still? Will you stop that? I'm with you.
This is mother man.
You trust me? You know.
Serious. He is multitasking.
I've been on the
right.
train before because I was
Yeah.
pushing my son. We're going out. I was bored at home, so I just said, okay, fine, let's go out. So I was on the train, and then this lady was just looking at me. So for some reason, when he got to the stage, I started feeling uncomfortable. Like, I wonder what she's thinking. Maybe she's thinking, oh, this mumu, this fool,
They do look at you like that though.
But but yeah,
I was look at you, especially the older ladies. I never see them sort of things.
No,
kind of thing, yes, it's true.
No, the older lady.
The funny thing is,
you know.
she now said, "Excuse me," and I said, "Yes, hi." She said, "Are you Nigerian?" I said, "Yes." And why do you ask? And she said, "No, because I just like the way you are, you know, you with the kids and everything. I've never seen a Nigerian man pushing, you know, or doing this or blah 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 blah."
Where's she living? They're on the street every day.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you, blah blah blah.
No,
yeah,
but it's true.
you know,
Not even
yeah, I know
Nigerian,
what
but
you
you
mean.
know, it's just
yeah, maybe it's
now
not
it's
common.
coming.
I
Yeah.
remember.
But I don't see anything.
I
If you
remember
love your
very
kids,
clearly going to
What's
work.
that?
I remember once ringing my partner. Where are you? I need to go to work. You're meant to be here to look after the kids. And next thing, you come tell me, did I tell you I want to become a childminder?
That's
And I'm thinking, hold on a sec.
That's it.
It's our child, not my one.
That's the attitude. That's the attitude you get.
But I've got to do my business. I've got to do the. Okay,
That's
then you
right.
go pay for childcare.
It's the African mentality.
Yeah.
It's
But
a
then-
cultural thing.
But then saying that, I remember once coming home because I was working shifts, and I brought the day before we'd gone to Asda and we brought a box of 32 crisps in the box,
Yeah.
and I walked into the sitting room and I walked into a carpet of crisps.
Oh,
My
you
daughter,
left it- you-
he
you
had
left
allowed
it.
her
Oh,
to
God.
sit there
Yeah.
and
Just
open
all
God knows how many packets of crisps. And guess where I met him? Lying on the sofa with my daughter on his belly, and they were just playing away with a carpet of crisps around
To
him.
be.
But then, to tell you
Just
the
to
honest
keep her
truth,
quiet.
yeah, to be fair,
my child was safe.
exactly. To be fair, the thing is, it's not really easy for a man, you know, to. Some men are good naturally with it. For me, it was
You're a
it was
natural.
it was still a bit of struggle because most of the time I had to call her at the initial stage, you know, to say, oh, where's this, or how do I do this? He's not smiling today, so I don't understand. You know,
It's not
you know,
smiling
I call
today, I
her for,
like that.
for
But
some
this is-
weird stuff
but
at times because it's all new to me.
But what I'm
But
saying, you took that
You
initial
took the
step
responsibility, yeah.
to bring the.
Or like
this
a
is
woman,
what
it's just
works in a
natural. All those things
relationship.
just flow naturally.
This is
But
how-
wait,
this
let's
is what
keep it.
works.
Let's keep it in the context of keeping the child safe.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you put things in place
Yes.
to keep your child safe.
That's right. Exactly.
Your wife said to you, "I want to go out and work," and
Yeah.
you took the reins and you said, "Okay, I'll sit at home."
Yeah.
So you know, families need to think of sharing the childcare.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
You know, because it's all about,
Not about
keeping
ego
your child,
and you're the
yeah,
man, I'm the
keeping
woman.
that child safe.
That's right.
Also, I
I
think,
think there's love
do you
and
know what? A
understanding.
lot of people, when they have their kids, they don't actually give the carer instructions,
Yes.
proper instructions.
Yes.
I think you need to make sure the person can read and write,
Yes.
and write down instructions for
Not
whoever is caring
necessarily.
for. Wait, no. But if they cannot read and write,
Yeah.
then I think you need to sit down. It's very important that you spend that time to run through things with them,
Exactly. That's fine.
just to
Yes.
make sure
I support people
it
who carry
works.
that, right?
Yeah. And
But I didn't used to. When I used to have my minder, that you know, when I used to go, when I had more stable work and working like 9, I worked from 10 to, you know, from 9 till 10 in the evening.
Wow.
Because it was self just shop work, so you know
Okay.
they close at 9
Yeah.
o'clock.
Yeah.
And I had a really fantastic childminder because she
Yeah.
would look after him at 8 o'clock in the evening.
yeah,
And I will allow them to do homework with the child because it's confusing. Because
but at least that is a child that is, when you think of it, Rose, that is a child that is of a certain age. But when you have a child that cannot talk,
That cannot
is
talk.
a toddler.
Yeah. Toddler.
right, okay.
When you have
okay,
a
you're
child,
saying a toddler,
yeah, when you have a child that is that is a toddler, I think that is where a lot of the difficult comes in, because that child cannot talk to you and tell you what is going on. And there are some kids that are very forgiving. That, you know, a minder might slap your child, but they know that before you come home,
It's
they
gone.
need to pet that child so that
It's
child
gone.
forgets about it.
Yeah, and it's gone.
It happens.
Yeah.
I
Some
remember.
child- some
Yeah.
child are just so forgiving.
Some kids are very forgiving,
Oh,
and
some
once you
are
give them
just-
give them a
Kind of
sweetie. Give
yeah,
them a sweetie.
once you
and
give
then
them a
they're
sweet,
really-
they're happy.
Yeah.
But
Again.
there are some kids who some pakururu, correct pikin. Ah,
What's Kwakoroko?
pakururu, correct pikin. Get to charge. Gulubu. Ah.
Very
What
stubborn.
hardcore kids?
Hardcore kids, if you like, give him all the whole packet of okay
What
biscuits.
do you cry
The
to?
moment mommy knocks the door or mommy comes in or walks in, ah,
The cry was.
She don't beat me. Oh.
The evil, yeah, this
You're
evil
saying-
spirit child. Damien child. Remember the Damien child?
They only
Anti-real horror child.
Oh, God.
they only put
There was a few
if you like buy anything.
Anti-real horror.
They will eat it. They will smile with you. They will play with you. You will ask them, are you going to tell mommy? Say, nah, I won't tell mommy. Then mommy walks in.
That's president's child. You know, the very smart ones. Don't you see some of them? Look at them even at 1 year old. They look like the Queen and King of England. Where's the child? You think this one is too? This one's very intelligent. This one is a president. This is the king coming up. This is the grandmother and the grandfather coming back. Isn't it? Grandfather
You know what?
coming back.
I just think that when it comes to our kids,
Yeah.
we just have to pray.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yes.
We
that's-
just
that's
have
it.
to, you know,
we have to.
we have to
constant
keep
observation,
yeah,
monitoring.
definitely.
Yes, we have to
Do you-
monitor it.
Do you know what, guys? I'm gonna say a big thank you to you.
No, it's
We
not
have
1 hour
2
yet.
minutes left. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I've always told you.
I still
it's
have more
fun.
to say since I'm just.
Sazino, why
holding
did you
on.
keep it?
I'm old.
Well, I'm sorry, Sazino. It's a bit too late, darling.
No, it's not too late.
I like that.
Serious?
Sazino, Sazino, I'll give you a few minutes. How would you like to round up
Yeah,
on keeping our kids safe? And
What I'm going to say is this: if it's not necessary for you to rush back to work, if there's a chance for you to stay at home, please stay at home and look after your child.
As long as it
Because as long as they can't really talk, it's best that most parents, the parents stay at home with their child till they get, to that stage where they can communicate properly.
Yeah.
That's my own take on that too.
Thank you
It's
so much
left
for that.
in your hand.
Thank you so much for that, Sazino. Rose.
That's it.
I would say keep on praying to God. Make sure you get somebody good next to your child to look after. Try and keep it within the family circle. You know, your mother, your sister, your relatives, your cousins. And even so, like you said, sometimes, put that little fear into the person as well that is looking after your child. Because
Yes.
sometimes we get quite lapsed. Like, for instance, he said, in Africa, you take them to the police station. Not saying you're going to take them to the police station, but have things there when you first, they first
have
come
clear
along.
rules.
Yeah, have clear
clear
rules.
rules.
Sit down and talk to them. Say, well, this is the implications. This is what I want, and be clear on what you want for your child.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, guys. I think it's very important. If your child is in childcare, you have someone looking after them at home, unexpected visits are very important. Unannounced visits, don't tell them you're coming home. You need to do it to check and make sure the welfare of your child is fine. I think you have to make sure that you have a very good relationship with whoever is looking after your child. You might see the person as a young person, you might see the person as this. The way you treat your kid, the person, by the grace of God, will be the way they treat your child. So I think you need to always bear that in mind, that you need to treat them well as well. And yes, realistically, there are the ones that will slip through the net, and regardless of how you treat them, they will still treat your child in a bad way. But you know what? We just have to keep on praying when it comes to kids being looked after. Guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. You have a
Thank
lovely
you very
evening.
much. Oh,
And
you
guys,
so
thank you
much.
so much for joining
Love
me.
you.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Oh, I'm feeling, I'm
love
feeling
you
sweet now.
too much. Happy Christmas.
Yes, Santa Claus.
Guys, thank you. Oh,
Big giveaways, everybody.
thank you so much, honestly.
Yes,
Thank
Thank
you.
you. No problem.
Yeah, so please bring us back again. Me and Rose.
Oh, we always
Yes,
here
yes.
together.
Is
Now.
there-
Is there,
Madam
there's
Rose.
something
This is a
about
team
you
or-
two. Oh,
There
there's
is,
so
isn't it?
there's
We're
some-
just
Madam Rose.
the spark, man.
It's- it's gold.
Prince here.
Exactly.
Prince.
Badu Magazine, Africa's #1 magazine with the best entertainment in the UK. Essential information on business opportunities, latest happening in the entertainment scenes, student parties, house of worship conferences, and much more. For advert placement and business listings, we are equally your #1. Get your copy now at our website at badumagazine.com and various outlets in and around Nigeria, UK, USA, and Canada.
Go and grab your copy now. Bedu ni elo. Bedu magazine. Bedu ni elo.
It's okay to lose control.